Alright, I'm back. We got some Ravenna Brewing Company out of Seattle, Washington. And this one is Parallel Existence, a hazy double IPA with Phantasm. Let's see here. Somewhat simplistic artwork. Looks like we got kind of like a can within a can within a can within a can within a can as it fades into black. And then 8.5 ABV on the side there. So this is a big boy. Drink fresh. Seattle, Washington. You can see that if you're interested. And then let's go ahead and crack it and get into this bad boy. Hazy double. A juicy one. It was eager to get out of the can. Let's go ahead and pour it into our glass here. This will be beer number 2 for the day. I had another double IPA before this, but it was a West Coast double. Alright, I'll stop right there. Okay, let's see what we got here. We have, whoa, I can really smell this one. We have a bright yellow haze here today. Nice opaque haze. It's always brighter on my side than it comes across in the camera. We got probably 2.5, 3 fingers of bright white head. And let's go ahead and get into this. Beautiful aroma on this one. Very bold. Definitely a lot of citrus. Not so much pithy, but more kind of like sweet citrus, like a actual orange fruit. Ooh. Okay. Very juicy. I was curious about the Phantasm, so I looked it up, and I guess it's repurposed white grape skins, or grape skins, Sauvignon Blanc, specifically from the Marlborough region, I guess, in New Zealand. And I guess they repurposed the spent wine grape skins, powderized them, and then use them like in fermentation or some shit in the beer making process. And they like enhance the aroma and flavor in hazy IPAs. I'm not too familiar with it, so I'm not gonna act like I am. This one's pretty fucking juicy though. I'm not really getting much of a grape thing going on. I actually get that kind of rare, but I really enjoy it, where you get like those peach rings, those peach ring candies, and then there's kind of like a nice, kind of zingy citrus on top of that, but the whole thing is very like soft mouthfeel, kind of mellow. Even though there is like a little bit of zingy citrus, it's not overpowering. Very good. Alright, let's get into this shave. We got AA Shavings, The Hunt, the freshman release from a while back. But this was gonna be my shave while I was in the mountains, but I just never got around to it. But The Hunt, very nice scent from AA Shaving. It's a nice green scent. Obviously, you can see the Pacific Northwest, the evergreen state. We got the trees on the label there, out of Oak Harbor, Washington. You can see the ingredients on the back. This was the original release, original formula. Things have since been updated, but I'm going to try to recreate the hunting camp shave that never was. I brought my Captain's Choice shave bowl, which I was going to use as my travel bowl while I was up there. I brought my Trotter Handcrafts T1 Badger brush that I was going to use while I was up there. I have my Bougie Chill Mill, the Chiller and the Pillar, the Menth Dealer right here, with the menthol crystals in the little chamber right there, this pump action menthol grinder. And then, of course, the Razorock V3 Hawk with a Schick Proline P30 blade. Very, very handsome razor right here with my favorite Artist Club style blade. Let's go ahead and grab our menthol and get to pumping. And we will go ahead and let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Get some menthol up in this motherfucker. Put that to the side. I don't know if it'll come across, but there is a nice dusting of menthol in there, and I'm just gonna incorporate it into this very hydrated lather. Even on his original formula, it was a very good shave soap. Very proud to have AA Shaving in Washington. I always try to really support the artisans that come out of my state because there's not a lot of them. And I've seen one of my favorites go bye-bye, and I don't like that shit. So definitely try to support the wet shaving artisans in Washington State. But my reviews aren't biased. They make fantastic products. So we have a nice shiny lather here. Looks very luxurious and dense. Let's go ahead and wet the face and get right into it. Like I said, this was the hunting camp shave that never was. I planned on shaving with it. I brought it with me, but camp this year was a little bit different than years prior. We went somewhere that was less desirable because our hunting spot of probably the last decade has been logged and bought out piece by piece by piece, year after year after year, until we finally just said, fuck it. There's not really enough of it left to fight with the masses over it. We need to start looking elsewhere. You know what I mean? Say goodbye to Hollywood. No. Shout out if you know that song. But no, we had to say goodbye. We just let it go. So we went looking elsewhere, and we actually went looking in our backyard, a place that's a lot closer to us, but it's also, a lot more populated with hunters. So it's kind of I don't want to say slim pickings, but you're definitely fighting tooth and nail for what you get, because I call it the pumpkin patch because there's so many fucking hunters around. So we definitely had our work cut out for us, and we in fact left unsuccessful this opening weekend. A lot of our focus was on trying to get my cousin's son his first deer. This year was his first year hunting, and a lot of our focus was really just coordinating a legal buck for him to shoot, because he didn't get drawn for a youth tag. And despite our best efforts, we saw a few bucks, we saw a few does, but we couldn't put him on anything legal to shoot, which was a 3-point or better blacktail for that area. So we're gonna try again late season, but we're going up north further. All right, let's go ahead and get this shave on the road. Let's take a pause from story time. Talk about the scent. I've already done videos with this one where the topic was much more focused on the product and impressions on the product. So you can always search those if you want a more concise review. But today is more vlog style. But the scent, it's a nice green scent. I do think the experience is kind of mellow. This is one of the ones early on that I said you definitely, well, I shouldn't say one of the ones, because the very next one had more scent strength, but this one I wish it was a little bit stronger, a little bit more bold. But the scent is still there to be enjoyed. But because it's kind of mellow on the scent, and I do think the scent itself is kind of mellow. It's not like bright and zingy or anything like that. It's kind of it's like a mellow green vibe, but I also feel like it has soapy characteristics to it. I know Austin might disagree with that part. That's just kind of how it hits my nose. But it comes together very nicely. It's very approachable. I don't think anybody would be offended by this one. I think it was a very approachable kind of crowd pleaser type scent. Perfect for a first release, you know what I mean? If you pick it up, you're not going to be disappointed by this scent. Might not blow your socks off, might not be your new favorite in your collection, but I think you'll be able to find something to appreciate about this scent. And the soap base really leaves nothing to be desired. It has all the slickness that you'll ever need. It carries a nice density to it. And easy to lather. Takes a good amount of water. And, you know, the lather stability and longevity is there. There's really no glaring downsides to this soap base. Checks all the boxes, if you will. And the Razorock V3 Hawk is just glorious to shave with. Very smooth, very comfortable. I do believe they have a more aggressive option, but this is just kind of like the standard head option. Let's go ahead and lather up for pass 2. Looks like we got a beard hair that got lodged in the brush. And that definitely was a beard hair because it was a scraggly motherfucker. But anyways, back to story time. So yeah, we did a good amount of hiking. We're not unfamiliar with the area, but we haven't been hunting it the last 10 years, so we're not intimately familiar with it either. But we did have more than one kind of major setback. Looks like there's one chunk of soap that keeps finding its way back into the mix. One chunk of soap that didn't get fully broken down. That's my bad. But anyways, we had a couple setbacks. So day one, really before the day got fully started, my dad, my uncle, and my cousin's son, which I don't even know what you would call your cousin's son, nephew, but not really. I don't know, maybe nephew. They went up first, a couple hours ahead of us. They got, camp set up, at least, the majority of the way set up. And then we made it up a couple hours later. I had a general idea of where I was going, but I didn't know the exact camp spot because we'd never camped there before. So, I knew, which mountain to go to, but not necessarily which turns to take in all this. My dad tried describing it to me the best he could, but it wasn't good enough. So I told him to leave me a pin drop of where the exact spot is going to be and send the coordinates on the phone to me. He said no problem, sent me the coordinates. I plugged it in. Looked like, the right spot to me. I'm sure you can see where this is going. against the grain. I turn on Google Maps, pick up my little brother and my nephews, and start heading up to the mountains. At a certain point, I lose reception, which is expected. I know that. I know that there's no reception up there. But, you know, if you have navigation on and going before you lose reception, navigation kind of keeps doing its thing to the best of its ability. So, navigation is still doing the twists and turns and all of this to the best of its ability. So I'm following it. Everything seems right. It's leading us to the mountain, at least to the mountain where I know we're camping on. So I'm like, okay, so far so good. And then it kind of like, it shows us like veering off track, but I'm looking to my left and my right, and there's no other ways to go. There's no turns. There's no slight right, slight lefts. There's no other where to go but straight. You know what I mean? We're on the fucking side of a mountain. And it shows us just veering off into the abyss. And so I'm like, okay, this is not good. And it's not really updating because there's no reception. And so I stop and I look at my pin, my supposed location, versus the destination's location. And, you know, I'm thinking, in terms of distance, we've already passed it. You know, hometown is to the right, and we are now to the left of the destination pin. Like, we're past it. And so we basically go like halfway back. We backtrack halfway until we get reception. Call my dad. And, you know, get better instructions on how to get there. In the meantime, he says, all right, you start heading the right way, and I'm going to, you know, meet you at the base of the mountain. Sounds good. You know, we'll meet at the base of the mountain. I get to the base of the mountain, he's not there. I now know the right way to go, so I start going up the mountain. Let me go ahead and rinse off while I'm telling the story, since the video's gonna go long. I finally catch up to him, and him and my uncle and my nephew are on the side of the road, smiling, and kind of they have their thumbs out like they're hitchhiking and all this. And I shouldn't say side of the road, side of the mountain trail, because we're now, you know, in the mountain now. My dad gestures for me to roll down the window, so I turn the music down, roll down the window, and he says, I broke my front axle. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So we just got back on track. Things seem like they're gonna be going smooth from here on out. And he broke his axle. Not to the point where it's like undrivable, but like a piece popped out. Kind of under the tire well. I'm not a mechanic, so I don't know exactly what the fuck was going on. But definitely looked sketchy. I was surprised he could still drive the damn thing. But he definitely said it was a bit rougher, which is to be expected. But it was kind of a steep incline that he was stuck on, and then it was very rocky. The whole mountain was very rocky. And so he just stopped there and waited for me. Lucky for me, you know, I had tow straps in my truck, and we got him up on, you know, more flat earth. And then it was only a little drive till we got to camp. And from that point on, we thought things were all good. Back on track. We're gonna make the most out of this. No. So, a few of our family friends came up that night, and, you know, we went to bed. And, well, they got lost too, but they eventually found us as well. Once we could give them more detailed instructions. They pretty much did the same thing that me and my brother did. We got lost, came back, got reception, got better instructions, and made it there. The following day, though, after the morning hunt, we're having breakfast waiting for these guys to show back up. And they leave by truck and show back up by foot. We're thinking, where's the truck? Did you guys get something? You know, what's going on? My buddy's truck just up and fucking died on him. And really, we still don't know what the fuck it was. It wasn't the battery, because we tried giving him a jump. We figured it might be like an alternator starter problem. We couldn't see any glaring issues, but shit wouldn't start. So we towed his ass off the mountain, which was sketchy, because obviously it wouldn't start, so his power steering wasn't working, and he was just kind of like feathering the brakes as we're towed up going downhill. It was a sketchy fucking situation, but we got her done. So many setbacks this weekend. Matching aftershave, not one that was available to the public. This was a special DK Damn Fine Shave Washingtonian release. I forgot this one doesn't have a stem because it was not a production release. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my finger over the hole. This is what you call a hashtag shit stricter, because there is no stricter. This one kind of has a hazy, opaque yellow color to it. It is quite viscous, but once it soaks into the skin, it will leave your skin feeling very supple. And the scent strength on the aftershave, per my criticism to Austin, constructive criticism I might add, Austin is a good friend at this point, and I really enjoy his products, and I fully endorse them. But he amped the scent strength up on this bad boy for me, and I appreciate that, Austin. The aftershave, I'm proud to report, is bold and banging, and because of that, I can pick up a lot more of the envisioned scent on the aftershave than I do on the milder shave soap scent. And the aftershave is, in fact, a better scent than the soap. Okay, so before the video goes extremely long, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. That was a hell of a damn fine shave. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.